We are now live with the DA leader and the Minister of Agriculture, John Steenhuisen. Leader, this is the second SONA from the GNU. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a much better speech than's been made in years previously. I think a lot less gimmicky, no tin swallows this year, a focus on brass tacks. I think a good announcements made on crime and the fight against gangsterism and drugs. These are essential. But I also like the really hard line on local government. I think many citizens across the country are facing the sharp edge of municipal failure. No water in their taps, no electricity in their homes, streets that are crumbling, municipal infrastructure that doesn't work. And I think they're tired of it. They want to have municipalities that work. And of course, the best way to get those is by voting for the DA. We send millions of rand to local government every year from national government. It comes back unspent or misspent. And I think that the announcements this evening around the ring fencing on water and electricity are welcome developments, because this means that that money generated from the sales in those will be plowed back into infrastructure. I think a lot of the speech tonight was also in line with what the DA's view has always been: get back to basics. Forget the bullet trains and all of the nice to haves. Get the basics right. Fighting crime, building infrastructure, ensuring that you have the platforms for economic growth and job creation. Those are absolutely essential. And I think those came through tonight. Where I would score the speech down this evening, I thought the part on BEE was very weak. I think all major economists concur that BEE in its current form is actually holding us back from economic development and is also not broad-based and not reaching people on the ground. Black unemployment has risen. Black poverty has risen. We need to have a new empowerment model that actually focuses on delivering on the ground and not making elites wealthy. And I would like to have seen a bit more of that this evening. So that's where I would mark the speech down this evening. I think we want genuine empowerment in the country. We've got to find a way to ensure that it actually gets to the people on the ground who need the help, not fat cats and billionaires. Yeah.
Now, John, we've seen that from the president's speech that the DA is indeed in the driving seat in the GNU. And he spoke a lot about expanding export markets, specifically around agriculture. Can you just give us your thoughts on that?
Well, of course. I mean, and then agriculture's had a great 2025. Quarter 4 figures out, 7% up year on year, 10% increase in exports. We've been opening new markets in China, in the Philippines, in Thailand, and I've got a big announcement coming next week, which is going to really make people very excited. And I'm looking forward to that. We've obviously got a lot of work still to do to find those other markets around the world, and we've been focusing on and being on the hunt for where we can sell South African agricultural products. The more we sell overseas, the more expansion we have here, the more profitability, the more jobs we create, the more economic activity is generated, and the more revenues for South Africa. And that is so important for us to grow jobs here locally and to create economic stability in the country.
Now, Leader, the President also spoke about foot and mouth disease, and he spoke about ensuring that there's a centralized space where government gets the vaccines and then being distributed. And we know that you are putting everything into fighting foot and mouth disease. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I firstly welcome the state of disaster that's been declared. This will hopefully unlock resources now that we haven't had to date, particularly when it comes to the issues around roadblocks and assistance with traffic. But I also am very glad that the President backed the strategy this evening to vaccinate the national herd. For the first time now, South Africa has a policy that is going and a pathway to becoming foot and mouth disease free, and that is through a rollout of vaccines across the country. We need 28 million vaccines. We're getting them now from different sources that we've never got before: Argentina, Turkey. We've broken the monopoly in the vaccine sector. We're allowed to import it from other areas as well now, and those millions of vaccines will go in the field. And if the private sector and the public sector work together, because we can't do this alone as government, we need private veterinarians, we need private animal health technicians and others to help us with that rollout. If we need that, if we can do that together, I'm confident this will be the last major outbreak of foot and mouth disease we ever have in the country.
Yeah. Now, Leader, I know that you are very much busy this evening. You have a lot of people to speak to, so I won't be selfish and keep you for too long. But you did speak in the beginning about local government. Now, as a Joburg resident who lives in Johannesburg, we personally haven't had water for 20 days. Okay. 20 days, Leader, so that is insane. No, listen, I had to come to Cape Town want to shower. How crazy is
well,
that?
That just shows you, isn't that the actual story there? Where the DA governs, things get done. Where the DA governs, you have water in your taps, you've got electricity in your homes, and you've got a government that's working with you, not against you. A government that takes investment in infrastructure seriously. And that really is the choice that lies before voters in this local government election coming at the end of the year. You can stay as you are for the rest of your life, or you can change to the DA.